we are on a computer screen now. We are talking and discussing about blockchain in this series of video, and we have talked very much about blockchain. We have solved minimal problems. We have typed our first smart contract as a fall in blockchain. So this is a blockchain ultimate course. My name is Yash. I welcome you to my course. Okay, so in today's video our topic is about Web3. So we are going to discuss about Web3. What is Web3? What is the difference between Web1, Web2 and Web3? Now the blockchain generally runs in a Web3 network. Okay, now what does Web3 means? Okay, cool. So Web3 is something which is a network. Okay, or a Web3 is something which is internet, right? Okay, so in Web3 if you are working then you can own your data. Okay, now how that this technology works, what are the technologies that works today on Web3? Okay, that we are all going to discuss in this video. Okay, now why Web3 is that much important? Okay, so we are discussing about Web2. Okay, there are certain what could say, there are certain throwbacks or there are certain loopholes in Web3. Okay, Web2. Okay, sorry for Web3. There are certain loopholes in Web2 that can be solved by Web3. Okay, now why the Web3 is inside this blockchain course? Okay, now Web3 is very important concept to just understand how a blockchain work on Web3. Okay, Web3 is a futuristic technology in which there are multiple or millions of jobs all around the corporate. Okay, cool. So in Web3 there are corporates, the jobs are of tremendous amounts of salaries. Okay, now Web3 developer can earn more than 14 to 15 million, I think, yeah, 14 to 15 million per year, or 20 to 34 million per year. Okay, now that is what a maximum salary or minimum salary of Web3 developer is. Okay, so now you can just imagine how huge the Web3 technology is. Okay, so we'll raise the bar highly. We'll learn about Web3, what is Web3, how to work on Web3, and what is the difference between Web1, Web2 and Web3. So that is all on this presentation. So what is the difference between Web1, Web2 and Web3? This is the main topic of this video. We are going to discuss about this topic in this video. Okay, now just get start with Web3, Web1. So what does Web1 mean? Okay, Web1 means read. Okay, in Web1 technology you can only read data. Okay, so Web1 was an earlier technology of internet. Yeah, it is an earlier technology of internet. So it early in 1990s or 90s. Okay, okay, in 90s the technology of Web1 was introduced. Okay, so in that technology if you scroll on internet you can just read the articles or read data all over from the internet. You cannot write any data or you cannot create your own content there. Okay, now that is what a huge loophole of an Web1 technology. Okay, now Web1 technology generally contains only reading of data. Okay, you can just see the data, you can read all those data, but you cannot create your own content or you cannot share your own content on Web1. Okay, there are certain or limited things that you can do in a Web1. Okay, there are very limited things that you can do in a Web1. Okay, there are very much loopholes or very much disadvantages of Web1. Okay, now these disadvantages get filled by Web2. Now Web2 was introduced in 2000s, where any user can not only read the data but also can write its own content on the data. Okay, now that is what Web2 was introduced. Still now very much of websites, very much of applications are still now working on Web2. Okay, we have not totally shifted on Web3, but we will get shipped in almost 10 years. We are after 10 years whole corporate network or whole applications or databases which now we are working will be shifted to Web3. Okay, cool. So in Web2 technology you can read and write data. Okay, now here in Web1 user can only read data. Okay, so Web2 was introduced in 2000s, where any user can not only read the data but can create his own content. Okay, now in this technology you can create your own content. Okay, you can create your own content, earn some money from that content. You can share your content to your friend. So generally this type of internet technology works on writing and reading of data. Okay, so many content creators get money from their content. Okay, now many much of content creator, just like me or anyone content creator, can earn data with its content or with its media or via sharing its knowledge to anyone. Okay, okay, cool. Web2 is still now working in many applications and websites in this world. Okay, I have talked about it. Cool. So in Web2 the only problem is about privacy. Okay, now yeah, there's certain problems of privacy in Web2. Okay, now what does this problem mean? Okay, now in Web2 the problem is of privacy. Okay, cool. So each and every application in or website in Web2 generally work on a centralized server. Okay, now what is this centralized server? What are the disadvantages, or what is the problem between this centralized server? Okay, now suppose you post your post, you post an photo on Facebook. Okay, now Facebook has its own server. Okay, now from that server your post can be sent to millions of people. Okay, to anyone, or someone can steal your post. Okay, so Facebook has all the priority that to steal your post. Facebook has all the priority to steal your personal data, or bank server has all the priorities to steal your ATM pin, to steal your credit card details, to steal your debit card details. No one is asking to bank why these data are being stealed. Okay, now this is what a real problem in Web2 is. Okay, now Web2 doesn't work on privacy. Okay, there is minimal concepts of privacy in Web2. Okay, so we are facing problem due to Web2 because we don't have that much privacy in Web2. Okay, now these problems get solved by the introduction or by the welcome of Web3. Now what does this Web3 means? Okay, now Web3 means read, write and own. So generally in Web3 you can read the data, you can create your own content, and you can also own that own data. Okay, so now your data can be owned by yourself. Okay, now you are the self owner of your data. Okay, so generally Web3 works on reading the data, writing the data, and also owning the data. Okay, so generally the content created by you is owned by yourself. Okay, not by any third party persons or server. Okay, I have said that. As this works on decentralized server systems, so thus your Facebook post is owned by yourself, not by Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, not by Mark Zuckerberg. I have put the name. So Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook cannot own your data. Okay, there is nothing like centralized server. Okay, we will be removing centralized server in this 10 years from bank also. From bank system, the centralized server get decentralized. Whole system get decentralized so that you would be safe, and your data will be safe, and your data will be owned by yourself. Okay, so thus it solves the issue of privacy that happens in Web2. Okay, now thus Web3 is a futuristic technology. Yes, Web3 is a futuristic technology which not only works to read the data but also own your data by yourself. Okay, so you can not only read or write the data, you can also own your own data. Okay, that technology, the technology that work on Web3 is blockchain. Okay, now blockchain technology just generally works on a Web3 technology. Okay, there are certain jobs, businesses or new startup that started working on a Web3 service as of now. Okay, so I will give an example of Web3. Now the first of all, Web1 example. The example of Web1 is Yahoo.com. Okay, Yahoo is the best example, I guess, for Web1. Now the example for Web2 is YouTube. Okay, YouTube is the best example for Web2, and the example for Web3 is Brave. So the browser name Brave, which almost everybody use as of now to save some YouTube time, to reduce the ads of YouTube. So Brave uses the Web3 technology. That's why Brave is fast, secure and transferable browser. Okay, I am still using Brave. I too use Brave many times. Okay, so this is how Web3 technology is getting shipped from Web2 to Web3. The huge shift is coming from Web2 to Web3, and it will be shifted around 10 years. After 10 years, everybody is working on a Web3. Okay, where you can not only read your data, write your data, but also own your data. So that is what a Web3 technology is mean. Now this is not everything about Web3. Sorry, this is not everything about Web3, but this will give you a picture of how a Web3 is and what does a Web3 does. Okay, now we have ever heard the name of Web3 in very much of YouTube videos. Now Web3 is a technology in which we will be working. In which we will be working in this coming 2 years. Okay, in this coming 2 years we are going to work on Web3. Okay, Web3 technology is beautiful. Web3 technology is great. Web3 technology is efficient, fast. I want to say everything about Web3. Everything will be on Web3. Everything will be working on Web3. So that's it for today. We will see you in the next video. That would be on smart contract only. This video I have bring in a playlist because of I want to acknowledge you about Web3. I want you that you should know about Web3. Now what is Web3 and what does Web3 does for us? Okay, now when will the Web3 be come in picture? Okay, I have all intentions to know you about Web3. I want you to get knowledge about Web3. Okay, now if you don't understand a bit of pattern about what is Web3, what does Web3 do for us, go to internet, surf. There are multiple websites there. From there you can learn about Web3. Okay, okay, cool. So that's it for today. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.